Oh goodness, I'm back. I'm almost dead, but I'm back. I have the next Baratheon deck that I made based on the Baratheon box. And this is Baratheon, the Faith Militant. I think this is probably the spiciest and most fun deck that I made from sort of new Baratheon decks. It has a lot in common with the Baratheon Banner of the Sun deck, but a lot not in common because there's no expensive characters and there's no Martell characters. But there is some similar things, such as, the Starry Sept and whatever else, all the R'hllor cards. Wait, that deck didn't have a bunch of R'hllor cards. Maybe it's not that similar after all. See, you guys, I'm dying over here, so I can't even think straight. But basically, out of the four that I'm going to show, I think this is my favorite, and then the Baratheon Sun is in second place. Then the Fealty one next, and the one that I'm going to show next week's probably my least favorite. Although I do still at least want to show the concept. Anyways, onto the deck. The Baratheon box and other cards coming out at a similar time, some sort of the packs around this time frame, have given us some cool new The Seven cards in support for the Seven theme. So originally I wanted to try the new 7 plot where your 7 characters don't kneel when they're attacking in your first challenge. I think it's called the New Gods. And I do regret to report that it's just not very good, not in this deck at least. I honestly think that plot's going to have more potential in Brotherhood, because in Brotherhood you can give a character with the 7 trait Intimidate or something and then they attack twice. In the Faith Militant, this deck at least, it just doesn't end up mattering very much. You don't have a large amount of the 7 characters, and none of them have super powerful effects. So, or not ones that are based on attacking more than once at least. So it's just not worth it, unfortunately. But we did get this new card, the Face Decree, which is basically a better Nightmares. And I definitely like this card. So if you're playing the Faith Militant, I mean, you might as well throw it in the deck, right? It really rewards like game knowledge and actually thinking about what your opponent's going to do and being proactive, because you can just use this as a Nightmares, but you can also use this to stop things that Nightmares cannot stop. So for example, when I'm playing against Greyjoy, before marshalling my Red Priest, I play this event and I name Drowned God Fanatic. Then I play the Red Priest and remove it from the game. Also, during Challenges phase, you could name We Do Not Sow. And when playing against other Baratheon, what I have done is name Red Priest in the marshalling phase on the first turn. And then during the Challenges phase, I used Seen in Flames. And indeed, the person had a Red Priest, and I discarded it with Seen in Flames. So I never got hit with Red Priest. Of course, still sitting in their hand because I had said Red Priest in marshalling phase. So they were like, oh, well darn, I guess I can't marshal this turn. So this card is pretty cool. Let's see. Moving on to the deck. Yeah, so I actually made a deck that's sort of a lower curve. It's a very mid-range cost curve. Let's see. Well, card cost doesn't really work. That's the frustrating thing, because it doesn't show character cost. Like, you really want to see character cost. Card cost doesn't work because you've got all these non-character cards messing it up. But there's a bunch of 3, 4, and 5 cost characters in the deck. There are still some Dragonstone Faithfuls just to try to have bodies on the board. I think military aggression can absolutely be a problem for the deck, and you can get in big doo-doo. And I'm sort of counting on the fact that that's just not a very common strategy, because it's absolutely useless against Stark and Greyjoy. As you've seen firsthand with some of my Stark games, it just flat out doesn't work against Stark, which is one of the factions to beat, sort of. So you're just not that likely to run into it. If you do, you could run into trouble, and you would definitely want a lower cost curve to try to help with that. You might want to do Spears of the Merling King, and you could run Parlay at Storm's End if you really wanted to. Yeah, there's like a flex spot in the plot deck where you could put Parlay at Storm's End if you were like, you don't want to deal with Sea of Blood or something. And of course you could put in that damn military cancel event instead of Face Decree. But Face Decree is Spice, so that's what our plan is, Spicy. And then that kneels your faction card, and you're playing the Faith Militant. You knew your faction card for your agenda. And one thing I even considered was putting in 3 copies of Mia Stone. So she's basically a worse version of Maester Aemon. Like, you just throw her down, and if they win a military, you just kneel her, and they steal power instead, which is not as good as Maester Aemon, who just cancels the claim outright, but does prevent you from fulfilling military claim, and works with the theme of your agenda, because ideally, you know, they get power claim, and then you use your agenda and you get it back, or something, I don't know. But again, ended up just not being necessary, because military aggression is just not really common enough to account for, in my opinion. So I did other stuff. I just couldn't... How do I explain? I can't think of why I ended up going for the mid-range type of deck here. I guess just because there's not that many big, expensive Baratheon characters that have any synergy with the deck. And, like, the best one is Robert, who loses renown with this agenda. He can't get his renown. So he loses a lot of value there. So I was like, well, let's just go for a lower curve. Another thing is the agenda helps you have a win condition without needing big dumb idiots to rely on to like claim power with renown and stuff. Because if you're just winning challenges, all things out being equal, you should win the sort of contest of taking and gaining power, because you're taking 2 of them away per turn and they can only take 1 off of you. And that's if they can even win a power challenge at all. I've got a couple of traitors to the crown and the Red Keep and a number of other things in here to try to prevent that from happening. So yep, that's what I'm going for. Also going for a non-loyal characters theme. You can see I have... Is it Angui or Angai? I have no idea. Angai sounds funnier, so that's what I like to say. He's in here. I've got Lemon Cloak. These are also lore characters from Melisandre. And the Ghost of Highheart. And 2 copies of the Hollow Hill, which is really super duper good. Because, again, so the original version of the deck did have 1 loyal character. And this is unfortunate. It was the new version of Sir Davos Seaworth, the 5-cost version with military and intrigue icons, because he is the 7 character. He has the 7 trait. And he has an ability to discard power off the opponent's faction card when he wins a challenge. It sucks that he's not in the deck. I took him out because of the anti-synergy, but he is a good fit for the deck. And, you know, if you don't want to play like the Hollow Hill and stuff like that, definitely put him in the deck, at least 1 copy. He fits sort of the theme of the deck quite well. He is the 7 character, so he's pretty good. Then we've got the Kingsman. So I'm using these instead of Devout Freerider. This card is so bad. It's such a good example of the Baratheon tax. Why is it 4 for 2? It could be 3 for 3, and it would probably still not be worth playing. And for some reason, it's 4 for 2. It's ridiculous. It does not make any sense. And it triggers me, but if we're not playing Kingsman and Baratheon Faith Militant, when are we ever playing it? I mean, so the correct thing is probably to never play it, right? But I think it's enough of a meme, and it's not that much different from Devout Freerider to where you can play it. And it's not that the ability can never do anything. I mean, you can, like Melisandre, 7-cost Victarion, and then this blanks him for challenges phase. That's the dream, right? Now, that's never going to happen, because that would require, things to actually go in your favor. But theoretically, that could be nice. One thing that I did do, which was funny, is I ran into someone playing the Corset Stannis, and you can just blank that guy when the standing phase starts with Kingsman and just totally counter his ability. So that was funny. So it's not impossible for it to do something. It's mostly here for the meme value. Got the Melisandre, got the Poor Fellows, Red Priest, Corsalis. Septon Maribald may seem questionable, and he is questionable. But power is... So... Very often, power will quickly become the only challenge that really matters in these matchups, or certainly the most important challenge, assuming that you're not dealing, again, with military aggression that threatens to wipe you off the board. So 4 for 4 power icon is fine, and he has a super dank combo with Silent Sisters. Silent Sisters, if they even get up to just 3 or 4 strength, the ability to stand them with Septon Maribald can be pretty good. I have had games where I had 2 Silent Sisters that were both 6 strength, and Septon Maribald was able to stand both of them. And when the opponent realized that, they conceded. And you can also stand Poor Fellows. I mean, that's not bad. Got the Courtney, the Emery, the Bastard of Night Song. The Shireen is good. Got Shadow Priestess because it's a trade routes deck, so helps you pay for these guys if you want to use the Shadow ability. Another example of the Baratheon tax. Why is this Shadow 3? If it was in any other faction except maybe Lannister, it would be Shadow 2, but what can you do? And the Silent Sisters to round out the cast of 7 characters. Got Brothers Robes because we're playing the 7. This is a nice card to have. In some games it doesn't really do anything, but it's super nice when it finds something good to hit. Like games where you can blank like Winterfell or The Wall with it. I have had games against Night's Watch that I won because this card, Brothers Robes, blanked their wall every turn, and that nuked their game plan. So we've got Milks and Traders, got the Scene in Flames, and then we've got Economy and the Starry Sept. The Starry Sept's pretty nice, if you can get it out there. One new 7 card that I'm not using is Statue of Baelor. Again, despite being the 7 card, I don't think Statue of Baelor has much synergy with Faith Militant decks. Or not with this one at least, because there's no big powerful characters with the 7 trait that gain power. Statue of Baelor might be playable in like a Stark Faith Militant deck, because you can use it to stand the 7 cost Catelyn when she's, a billion strength or something. And that could be pretty good. But in this deck, discarding a power off, what are you going to do? Stand your Begging Brother to do another 3 strength challenge with no keywords? It's not worth it. It's better to just use Stormland's Fiefdom to stash that power away on your faction card. So the plots, we got the At the Gates, the Riddle, the Coppers, the Trade Routes. Yes, Trade Routes, you still want it even in this sort of mid-range deck. Absolutely you will want it, because you have a lot of characters that become expensive, if that makes sense. Like Begging Brother's expensive, Kingsman costs too much. The paying for the Shadow Priest is 5 if you want to use the ability. And, you want the ability to flood out a big board so that you can command the challenges and force the opponent to play a reset. And then ideally, you still have cards due to various card draw, especially the Hollow Hill and the Red Keep and, like, King's Gates. And then we've got the Dohaeris, because we're like a mid-rangey deck, so we can definitely Dohaeris. And I even put in Fortified Position as my spice plot. This was the New Gods, but I honestly think Fortified Position is better, because a lot of your characters are not, a lot of them have abilities that do something, but none of these characters have abilities that's like, they're your win condition in and of themselves, and, if the character gets blanked, then you don't have a game plan. If you blank Greyjoy's characters, they don't have a game plan for that turn. They just have to actually play a normal game. So, blanking cards that are extremely overpowered and win the game when their text box is not answered, such as, various 6 and 7 cost characters, that's worth it with Fortified Position. If you don't have the Milks, you don't have the Begging Brothers or whatever, it's another possible answer you can have. But it does sometimes hurt you. When you're up against lame decks that just do resets and don't really play characters, maybe it'll hurt you. But what can you do? Can't win them all, man. Oh, Nash Targaryen. Yeah, that guy was playing Sea of Blood Targaryen. I don't want to play against that. I'm just going to be blunt. I just don't want to play against it, dude. Just don't want to. Targaryen is a potential bad matchup. I should say that. Because all your dudes are not high enough strength. So they're just going to, Valar Morghulis. And then, there are some answers in here. But it's going to be hard. You really need to draw your hand control. If you don't draw your Red Priest or Scene in Flames to take out those burn events, you're going to be in big trouble. And it's very possible that you're going to be just dead in the water and unable to do anything. Begging Brother also gets wrecked by Crown of Gold, which is really dumb. Let's see if we can get a game. But yeah, I like this deck so much because, I don't know, it just feels like such an honest deck. You do challenges and you claim power. I mean, how does it get... It doesn't get much more honest than that, right? I don't know. So we're coming up on the last week of these Baratheon box decks. We've got the Targaryen and Tyrell Prince that was promised. We have the last mystery Baratheon deck, which again, I think it's both my least favorite and probably the objectively worst deck. I mean, I think I might actually have the worst win rate with it. But again, we're going to show it, at least one game. And then I will be moving on to Brotherhood without banners decks, which is exciting because I've been planning on doing that anyways. And then we got some really nice Brotherhood support with Ghost of Highheart, Angai the Archer, I think he's a more recent card, and of course the Hollow Hill. So that should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I think Brotherhood is my kind of agenda, my kind of jank. Lets you play a faction like Greyjoy without feeling like a scumbag because all of your broken cards you've banned out of your own deck with your agenda. You can only play cards that are really good, such as 6-cost Victarion Greyjoy, instead of ones that are insanely broken and win the game by themselves, such as 7-cost Victarion Greyjoy. It's a very large improvement. Okay, if no one's going to win this game, join this game, we're going to have a problem. Come on, people. Where's my Baratheon Faith Militant? There it is. This is the problem recording later in the day, and why I usually try to record like earlier in the afternoon or something. Because around this time, as you can see, there's only 9 games. The damn site slows down a bunch. I guess maybe all the Americans are going to bed and none of the Europeans have woken up yet. I'm not sure what the time zone is like over there. But it seems to become more populated around the early morning. Don't ask why I've been on the site in the early morning, but I have. And it seems to slowly go up. It's bottoming out around now and around, like midnight through maybe 1 or 2 a.m. It'll really be slow. You might have like 5 games or something, and then it starts going up from there. And I do think this may be the longest gap that I've had on a recording of sitting here waiting for a game with no takers, which is really frustrating. But what can you do? Like I said, look on the video, and if you go down on the little time slider on the video, it should show a preview when you mouse over it, so you can move your mouse pointer along the time slider until you see it move away from this screen and you see the game screen pop up, and that way you can skip all this dead air. I should edit it out instead of telling you how to skip it on the video when you're watching, but it adds to my charm as someone that doesn't know how to record videos. We're going to go with that as the reason why. I did try to do it, but I don't know, I can't figure out OBS, dude. I figured out how to hit start recording. I can't figure out how to friggin' do anything else in this program. It's really bad. Come on, people. This is insane. I guess I can talk a little bit about, no, not Brotherhood. I'm going insane over here. Faith Militant. They're fairly similar, so it tripped me up. The Brotherhood deck, obviously has a lot of the same type of cards in it. I guess I can talk about the Tyrell Prince that was promised deck a bit. It's Renly Baratheon because of course it is. Although Tyrell has a bunch of juicy Prince targets, you could definitely use Randall Tarley or the 6-cost Marjorie. Okay, here we go, finally. No Greyjoy, fingers crossed. Damn it, at least it's Banner the Wolf. I have actually managed to win against Greyjoy Crossing a couple of times with this deck. So, you definitely have to get lucky, basically everything has to go in your favor. But you can beat them on board if you get all your bullshit out and you survive and they don't just win before that point, and they don't get any auto win plays such as We do not so, discard your red keep into we take Westeros, steal the red keep, or the Starry Sap, that's another one that they just instantly win if they get that. It definitely felt nice to actually beat Greyjoy Crossing the couple of times that it happened. Let's go first because we have Red Priest. See, he's playing Greyjoy, but he's playing, I want Gates to the Moon. No, my hand's a bit cheap. Let's get a King's Gate. But he's playing the Starry Sept. Like, you're not supposed to play that as Greyjoy. So right away, he's playing some different cards. I like that. Let's name Drowned God Fanatic. Why didn't it give him an ability to cancel that with Bran? That might be a bug. It looks like he had no chance to cancel that. Alright. Yep, there it is. We're going to discard it in Challenges phase using Scene in Flames. Do we want to discard Frozen Solid? Or Golden Storm? Golden Storm's a pain in the butt. Maybe we remove... Geez, there's too many big characters to remove them all. Let's remove Old Bill Bone, because this way he can only marshal one big character and nothing else. Angie, maybe? Angai? I guess it's the play. Sucks that I can't also bring out the Poor Fellows, but I need to hold this Scene in Flames to discard that Drowned God Fanatic. I don't know, do I? I mean, I don't have any character abilities that the Drowned God Fanatic's going to cancel now that I've gotten my stuff out. And I can play a Begging Brother with a bunch of gold to stop him from using it in the future. The important thing this turn was not letting it stop the Red Priest. So let's just play a Poor Fellows, I guess. I'm glad he's playing the core set Euron. That's encouraging. Asha, sure. Sure thing, buddy. Go right ahead. Oh, he marshaled the Drowned God Fanatic normally. Look at that. That's beautiful. So it was definitely correct to kick out Old Bill Bone, because it made him do that. And he would have spent that 3 gold on Old Bill Bone otherwise. Alright, we lead with Intrigue. I think this has to discard a big character. Oh, that's really good, too. That was the non-large character card that was in his hand was Frozen Solid. We obviously don't want him to have that. Not worth declaring a power. Let's see. So if we only attack with Angai, then he does a 6 strength power and stealth limb. He can still win power with Asha by herself. So we might as well push through a military. I mean, not push. He can defend it if he wants, but this makes him kneel 2 characters. Which he's probably not going to do, be my guess. Yeah, he's just going to let me win it. Give me that power. Yeah, you killed that Drowned God Fanatic, that's right. I mean, Asha probably won't do a power. She'll probably do like Intrigue or Military. I guess you do Military with Asha, power with Bran, and then kill Bran with Drowned God Fanatic and do Intrigue. Seems like the play. Unless he's playing Heir to the Iron Throne, that would be spicy. that would be a reason to go Wolf Banner and play cards like Bran Stark. You know, obviously he might want to do power so he can trigger his Starry Sept, but what are you going to use the Starry Sept on? Lemon Cloak? Like, who really cares? It's not that good. But no, decides to do a power. Decides that he has the Starry Sept, so he needs to use it. Fine by me, I suppose. So if I block, then the Drowned God Fanatic can win a military. So I won't block. No, not my face decree. It's so good. Imagine if I had another face decree, I could have blocked that Asha ability. That would have been dank. Could have fortified position. That would be pretty funny. But we have milk for Asha. Let's just do at the gates. Yep, heir to the Iron Throne, but man. What's it gonna be? This is why we have Valar Dohaeris, boys. Well, I guess it has to be gates now. Oh no, it's that card. Stormlands Fiefdom, I like it. Alright, we're definitely getting a Begging Brother at this point. We're definitely milking this Asha. Then I guess we can go Stormlands Fiefdom. Off of 1 gold of playing that Scene in Flames. I might should have held it, but I think it's okay. Play Balon. Please do it. Come on, you know you want to do it, man. Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. Look at that. Imagine this being your board when I play Valar Dohaeris. And I've got the Begging Brother to cancel this bullshit. Makes me happy. Why are you playing Refurbished Hulk, dude? You're not playing the right version of Euron for that card. That shouldn't be in your deck. Yeah, I probably should have held a gold for Scene in Flame so I can check for We Do Not Sow. Now, he didn't have it last turn, so it's super unlucky if he top decked it. But it's absolutely the type of thing that would happen to me. Euron can defend Intrigue by himself if the opponent doesn't want to let me win it, so there's no reason to declare 2 attackers. I'm assuming he'll defend it. I mean, he's pretty low on cards. Okay. Military doesn't matter because I'm going to play Valar Dohaeris. So let's just toss an Angai military at him. Fine by me. Pillage's Begging Brother. Yikes. Good thing I can cancel that. This is super scary because if he pillages, like Red Keep, I'm in big doo-doo. It's handy that he just plays the Starry Sept, so if he pillages mine, he can't take it with We Take Westeros, because he already has it. Man, I want to use the Poor Fellows. No, it doesn't matter. We'll just do it this way. Like, there's no way I'm keeping these Kingsmen for the Valar Dohaeris. What am I keeping? Red Priest, Angai, Begging Brother, Poor Fellows? Seems right. Yeah, get that BS out of here. Get Begging Broad, bro. So let's use our Stormlands fiefdom to move the power off of this King's Men, since they will not be staying in play. I'm assuming this is a power challenge. Oh, wow, he was not paying attention. He could have blanked my Begging Brother with his Starry Sept, and that would have totally changed this turn. But I'm guessing that he just wasn't thinking about that. Oh, not sure if he wants to do a power. And you can see the issue here, like against Greyjoy Crossing, the way that you're actually able to win, if you get lucky, is that they can't just ignore your challenges and not respect them, because you have the ability to take too much power off of them. Damn, Brothers Robes would have liked that, but King's Men is fine. Like, if they just ignore your challenges and let you win 3 unopposed, you're going to take power off of their faction card too fast for them to deal with very easily. Man, I really need to draw cards. Oh, I have 5 power exactly to trigger these King's Gates. That's handy. Do I counting coppers and hold off a turn? It's possible that that's worth it. I don't have enough Begging Brother since he discarded one for me to keep up the triggers, so let's go for it. You win or you die? Sure. Well, if I knew he was going to do that, I would have waited a turn, but I didn't know he was going to play you win or you die. Let's lose the Red Priest, since the Old Billbone will go away to reserve if he doesn't use it this turn. This is sort of by doing that, he gives me a safe turn to go ahead and give him the card back. Only keeps Balon, so far so good. The Hollow Hill, nice. Alright, here comes another big character. Oh, well, that's not a big character, but I don't like him canceling my Hollow Hill. Rickon can cancel Hollow Hill. Dragonbinder. He put Dragonbinder on Rickon, what the hell? Well, I hope you win Dominance, buddy. Alright, well, this was a trash hand. $7 gold wasted. What a shame. Oh well. We can't even really draw anything that'll be useful. So let's just chill and see what he does. Let's just see what he does. Seven? I have exactly 7. That's very inconvenient. Oh, he has Golden Storm. I can't declare any blockers. It's good to have this Dragonstone Faithful around to help absorb that. I guess I can Stormlands fiefdom on this Starry Sept to get rid of that. Should probably do that. But oh well. Let's not lose a 2-claim Intrigue. What if we do that? I think that's my game plan. not discarding 2 cards. Blank Begging Brother. Okay. What is he going to use next? Drown God Fanatic's the only thing he can trigger. Drown God Fanatic can't do shit, so yeah. Well, I don't... What was the point? Seems like a waste of that Starry Sept. Oh. Damn it. I didn't think fast enough. I forgot about Balon. I was supposed to use the Face Decree to block that. Luckily, there's nothing he can put into play that really helps him. Yeah, like, you can put that in, and I can just block it with Limb, Limb, and Cloak. So go right ahead, buddy. Actually, with that in mind, good to save the Face Decree for a turn where it'll matter more. Oh, maybe I should have said Drown God Fanatic because of that, but whatever. I can always just do it next turn to stop that from being done again. This 7 gold is convenient because it means I'm going to win dominance. Oh, and I shouldn't have triggered my agenda. Because I can't get power claim now. It's on the Begging Brother instead. Oh well. As you can see, things are definitely going according to plan at this rate. These are some nice draws. Let's get this card. I like that one. Discard the shitty Kingsmen to reserve. And then we play Trade Routes? Sure. Don't want to play Fortified Position and blank my Melisandre, so let's just hope for good top decks. What is this? Desperate Attack? What the hell? Alright, well, I'm going to confess, Desperate Attack could be a little bit of a problem if he does a 3-claim military. What in the heck? This dude is just randomly playing something that might actually be able to counter me. Hopefully we can just outflood him, though. You use Imri to stop a military if we have to. Well, looks like he drew very shitty top decks. Very good for us. There's nothing super worth blanking with Begging Brother. So let's just do this first and discard whatever this is. In case it's like Risen from the Sea or something. Desperate Attack. It was Risen from the Sea. I bet you he feels crunchy for playing that plot right about now. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you eat this 2-claim, bro. These literally do nothing. I guess we'll blank the Starry Sept. I mean, it's not like I'm going to let him win a power challenge. Watch this. Sure. Use Maester Mirror on that and not on the Hollow Hill. Totally fine by me. So the idea was going to be to move a power onto his faction card so that I would then take it with power claim. But since I'm at 11 power and his faction card has 0, I think that's fine. What did he kill? Rickon? Let's not cancel that. It doesn't let him win any challenges, so go ahead. But let's definitely discard the Dragon Binder. Alright, give me something good. I should have let him do that. He's taking Kingsmen? They couldn't have won a challenge either. Wasted my begging brothers, just assuming that he would do something relevant there. Not a correct assumption. I guess Red Priest. I want to make sure I can use Mel again. But what if he just does Valar Morghulis? That's the concern here. Alright, I'll take Courtney, I guess. Courtney's pretty good. So we have to do Counting Coppers here. Counting Coppers into Morghulis will feel bad if he does it, but I think I still like my position, even in that case. Force March, sure. Sure, buddy. Sure, you do that. This plot only has one claim, so I don't care. Nil Angai because he cannot defend because of Golden Storm. Otherwise, I probably would kneel Lim instead of Angai. Another awful top deck from the opponent. Yeah, that's game. Too bad you weren't playing draw, buddy. You decided to play Desperate Attack instead, and look where that got you. Well, we did it, boys. We beat Greyjoy again. It was janky Greyjoy, but I'll take it. And we got to show our game plan quite nicely. Look at the refill that we had. We were down to basically nothing in hand. We used the King's Gates and the Hollow Hill to refill completely and make this board that was already winning the game by itself. And then we also drew into this hand, which was going to wreck him again when I played another trade routes. Super dank. Good stuff.